bank because my daughter needed, you know, a new kidney and and I'm not saying that that's okay, but I understand like my daughter was on dialysis and my fucking flesh and blood was going to die. And I robbed that bank. And guess what? I'm going to jail for 10 years and my daughter is now 16 and she's going to live. So I can't wait to get to jail. I absolutely go and rob those banks, people, you know, like you're going to go to jail, but fine. Right. This was not that. So like, come on, sweetie, you know, and like somehow, not everyone hates her as much as they do Erica, but do we have time to even break that down here today? I don't know.
We'll do another episode because it's going to get good when the show comes out. Cause I do think you'll see a turn of the tide. I think, you know, like myself, I thought, maybe she is innocent. And maybe I thought maybe she was a part of it in a lesser capacity, maybe. But, oh my God, no. When you see what she pled guilty to in the layer of the scam and like what Stuart was doing. And it was nuts. So anyway.
And mind you, I still would love to know I love a change. So I love when like, you know, Meredith and Lisa are truly, truly friends for years. And now they truly are not. And that is truly because you went on this show. I mean, this isn't acting. This isn't like, so that to me is interesting. And I really would love to know, is it over Jen Shah? What is it? And Whitney has already said that she didn't give Heather the black eye, but these are cousins and they were, you know, together. And I mean, Meredith and Heather are close with Jen this season. So, I mean, they were in New York with her right before she turned herself in. So, I mean, is this scuffle between Whitney and Heather? As a producer, I just go back to like, and I'm not blaming the production company. I'm blaming the allure of fame from these housewives. Like, did Heather and Whitney come up with this? Is this like a scheme of like, let's fight girl for next season? Or is this real that it just happened? And is this over Jen? Like what would lead Whitney and that would be like, I don't know, like Margaret and Jackie to fight. I mean, like just two people that are really close, right? Like it's reality TV, anything's possible, but I'm really more curious about how Heather got this black eye and how are Whitney and Heather not getting along? And does it have to do with Jen? And is it real? That's all. It's going to be a great season.
I love it.
What else did you want to talk about?
Well, did you know that PK and Dorit were robbed in 2018 of $2.5 million in items? And that's like, that robbery is actually separate from the one they just had where Dorit was home. Did you know this? And this big story that's come out about the two basically like, you know, high end, these two handsome, one of them is very handsome, kind of high end robbers that were robbing people in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, send me his pictures. I love like that's like that guy Meeks. What's his name? Jeremy Meeks. Do you remember that guy? He was hot.
Jailbait ever. Oh my God. He was.
I love a hot criminal. To be honest with you, I'm not opposed to it. Send me the pictures of this hottie. Look, I knew Dorit and PK were robbed.
You did back in 2018? Oh.
Yes, I just didn't realize that this was still like a thing. Like, is this like are people now investigating this? I mean, that I know was part of why people questioned the whole robbery to begin with, to be honest with you.
Because they'd already been robbed prior. And
well, I think,
they were hit twice.
I think a lot of things. I think the fact that, you know, Dorit needed a storyline for the season. Okay. Dorit doesn't like to wear the same thing twice, and we have insurance money. You know, PK wasn't there, and he's there every night. Your children sleep in your bed every single night, except this. I mean, there's a lot of things that people, you know, pointed to that just aren't adding up. I mean, there's a lot of others. There's also something about like a police report, and I think like there was a police report, but it wasn't thorough. Just a lot of things, but. I mean, I think the fact that they were robbed before, yeah, sure. I mean, I could see why people would say that's a little strange. Like, I mean, here's the thing. How many times does anyone really have a home invasion? Like, even though it's going around you and this is on the right, but like the fact that it's you, I mean, of course you should expect this and you should prepare for it. And you know what I mean? Like, but the fact that it's you that it happens to, I don't know what the statistic is, but I guarantee you it's probably like what, 1% or something really low.
I would think, you know, my parents were robbed. My house was robbed when I was little. Thankfully we weren't there. And we just moved into this new house and my parents had bought the house fully furnished. I don't think there was anything really of value, but there was some artwork stolen. There was a clock stolen that was like on a nightstand or whatever. And I mean, there was just like costume jewelry, nothing of that value. But anyway, the person that did do it, unfortunately, did it again. And the woman was home and he actually slit her throat and she died. So it was the same guy. But that was a once in a lifetime occurrence. That's never happened again. It is interesting. Now they're out on television. They put their lives out there. I'll send you the hot robbers photos. These guys were hitting just celebrities. Adam Levine was also hit. I'm not sure if I have this right, but I think Shia LaBeouf might have as well. Artwork was stolen, handbags. I mean, it is interesting. They were robbed before in 2018. Now those robbers are being brought to justice. They're robbed again. I mean, it is, but you put everything out there. I mean, Dorit had put everything out there, high-end handbags and outfits. So you are a target. God, you would have thought they were robbed once. Now, the first time in 2018, they weren't home. So maybe it didn't have as much of an impact. They were away, I think, in England, came home a week or so later, had realized this guy. And this guy, by the way, was posing as a hot realtor. And would, he was like going in and he would go to open houses in Beverly Hills saying,
send me this picture. This is smart. I mean, it's a smart idea.
I work for the such and such agency out in Santa Monica. I'm looking for my client, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, he was beautiful. And anyway, he was
out the
place. Exactly.
At the home. And let me tell you, what I don't understand is like, I mean, I'm not judging, but like, I mean, I would hire, Diana apparently has security now after, the death threats, because people are saying, she's behind Garcelle's attack on, the attack on Jax, which I don't think she is. I would hire security if I were to like lay off the Louis, sweetheart. I mean, I would literally I know people that have a security person stand at a guard at night.
Yes,
there's two.
Yes.
I would have that. That's just me. I would never be able to sleep in that house. Or maybe any house again. That's just me personally after that happens. And I would if I had someone's for security. I don't know how much does that cost a year? $100,000.
A lot. Yeah.
100. Well, okay. 150. I mean, your clothing allowance certainly costs at least that.
Totally. No, I agree. And I mean, I don't know how you're not living in a gated community, honestly. Like,
right. That too.
After an incident like that, for sure. It is. But anyway, I didn't realize that. The other thing, they did have good news is PK's DUI case was dropped this week as well. They didn't have enough evidence. He blew a .081. Then when they got into the station, it was like a .079. Anyway, they didn't have enough. So that was dropped.
Things are coming out for PK and Dorit. They're having a good week.
They're having a good week. So, but obviously he said, he shouldn't have gotten behind the wheel, period. Even if there was like a tipping point, even if it was on the edge. But yeah, they were having a good week. So there you go.
Did you have some rant or something about Bethany Frankel?
It's going to have to wait though. I have to go. But I know I had a rant about Rick and Kelly, and Rick and Kelly put out this just stupid thing on their podcast this week about, we're going to break down all the scenes that are fake. And I'm going to rant about them next show because nobody cares. No one cares. People watch the show for entertainment and they tune out. They don't give a fuck if a scene from a prior recording was filmed in. But Rick thought this was like a big revelation. It's like, Rick, no one cares.
And by the way, Kel, she's saying all this, not me. So when you talk about someone whose voice is annoying, I mean, according to the comments on my Apple reviews, they say Sarah has a horrible voice and it's annoying and it needs to be taken down decibels. So before you say, don't worry, Sarah, they say even worse things about me. They say I'm a bully because I say melon ball. Well, melon ball, leave it 1 star. I don't give a fuck. And by the way, it doesn't hurt the people that listen. Kelly, I'm not saying this about you, so come for Sarah, not me.
Well, Kelly, you can come for me. There's so many things to talk about. No one cares that your friends were filming a different scene, and then Bravo edited in to react to when Kelly told Shannon to put the plate down, and Shannon goes,